Mr. Speaker, this rule provides, Mr. Speaker, and I'll read it.
Yeah.
The member in charge of a bill may make a motion without notice for its withdrawal, either before the commencement of public business or when any stage of the bill is reached in the order of business. It's 59.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I call on the Prime Minister to withdraw this bill. It is within his remit as carrier of the bill. I do so, Mr. Speaker, because I believe sincerely that this piece of legislation, and indeed, Mr. Speaker, the amendment to the procedures, to the criminal procedure bill which we dealt with the last time we were here, both infringe on rights, infringes our freedoms, and threatens our democracy. And therefore I call on the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, to withdraw this bill.
Thank you. That's it? You're still standing? That's it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm still standing.
Yeah, well, could you take your seat, please? Kindly take your seat because you have made a request. I expect there is going to be a response to it, and I can have two people standing on the floor at the same time. Honourable Member, could you please take your seat? Having made your request, I believe you expect a response. Could you kindly take your seat?
Mr. Speaker, I wish the Prime Minister to indicate whether he will withdraw this bill.
Honourable Member, I am requesting of you, as Speaker of this Honourable House, that you take your seat while the Prime Minister responds to this matter. As you are aware, we cannot have two persons speaking on the floor at the same time. So I am asking you to take your seat if this matter has to be addressed. And if you do not take your seat to have this matter addressed, then of course I will just note the point of order and ask the Prime Minister to proceed with we'll just proceed with the motion as was moved on the bill. And failing to obey the authority of the Speaker, having asked you to sit down, if you do not, I would ask you to leave the chamber, the House of Assembly, immediately. I have pleaded with you, I have begged you, and I'm asking you to do so of your own will and volition, and if you do not do so, then I may ask a member to move a motion on that behalf so that you may leave the House of Assembly. But again, I give you an opportunity to sit and let us proceed with the business. Okay? Honourable members, I bring to your attention that the authority of the Speaker has been disregarded by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and therefore I am going to name him. I'm going to ask Mr. Anim Eustace to leave the Parliament at this moment. Mr. Anim Eustace, you're asked to leave the Parliament at the moment.
Mr. Speaker, may I draw a matter to your attention? The Honorable
Honourable Prime Minister, I
Mr. Speaker,
understand what you're doing.
it's a disciplinary matter I'm raising.
Okay.
I'm not interfering with your ruling, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Member, please.
she has taken the picture of the leader of the opposition. And Mr. Speaker, and she has taken mine as well, as she has said. And that, Mr. Speaker, this, she is not...
Just a minute, please. Just a minute, Prime Minister. Those who are taking photographs here are given permission by the Speaker to so do. Nobody comes in here and takes a picture without my authority. There's no well about this, Honourable Member. There's no well authority. And listen to me, please. I would not accept any form of rudeness from any member within this House. Really? Please.
All on that side.
Honourable Member, would you please discontinue arguing with me?
I have no argument with you.
Mr. Speaker, I suggest that the order should be that she deletes the photograph and so inform this honourable House. She may well put it on the Facebook if she doesn't delete it.
It's gone already.
Honourable Member, just a minute. Honourable Member, if you persist in that kind of attitude, I'll have to ask you also to leave the House. Right. Honourable Prime Minister, you're making a matter on discipline.
Mr. Speaker, I also want to ask, as leader of the House, since the opposition has come here this morning to create confusion, I would wish to ask, Mr. Speaker, that the police guard the mace, because they intend, and since the Senator Leacock has gone to that seat, has confirmed in my mind. Mr. Speaker, the seating arrangements have been laid out.
Mr. Speaker,
I'm on my feet,
Yeah, but,
please.
yes, sir, but why are you sitting there, Senator Leacock?
Mr. Speaker, could I raise my point of order, Mr. Speaker?
Why are you sitting?
Mr. Speaker, all I was asking,
May I, Mr. Speaker, raise my point of order?
Mr. Speaker, all I was asking is
Mr. Speaker,
for the security,
Just a minute.
for the police to go close to the
Thank you
mace.
very much. Raise your point of order.
I have absolutely no intention to interfere with the mace.
Thank you, sir.
And the insinuation by the Prime Minister, who continues to address me wrongly.
Mr. Speaker, I'm gratified
Yeah.
to hear that that is not
Okay.
to take
So you
place.
would-
But when I've seen
So you'll
the conduct of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition and the Honourable Senator Frederick, it leads me as a reasonable man to assume that we will have other instances of disorder. Mr. Speaker, if it would make the Honourable
Member.
Representative for Central
Oh, I
Kingston
love that.
feel better,
Yes.
if it would help him with whatever load is on his shoulder,
No.
I...
No.
Wait, just a minute,
Mr.
Honourable Prime
Speaker.
Minister. Just a minute. Just a minute, Honourable
I
Prime
withdraw this suggestion.
Mr. Speaker, I have been asked repeatedly in this House on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, to withdraw a statement. And when I qualified it, Mr. Speaker, you ordered me out of the House. I am stating
Hold on.
that the Honorable Prime Minister has not unconditionally withdrawn the statement made to my colleague, the
All right.
representative for Central Kingston. And I ask you, in your powers, to request of the Prime Minister
Stop shouting,
that he
stop
withdraw
shouting,
the
stop
statement unconditionally.
Stop shouting. Stop shouting.
Unconditionally.
Honourable Prime Minister, it will appear that your unqualified
Is not sufficiently unqualified. Mr.
Could you
Speaker, I
kindly
make an
withdraw?
unqualified withdrawal in relation to the suggestion that the Honourable Member for Central Kingston was perhaps going to take up the mace in view of the fact that I've seen prior instances of disorder and disrespect to the chair. So, Mr. Speaker, I unqualified and I've stated the manner in which I have issued that unqualified withdrawal.
Before we proceed with any further discussion, any further matter, let me deal with this matter in relation to the leader of the opposition. And he is not moving, and I'm therefore going to ask a member to move a motion that the honourable leader of the opposition withdraws from the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, at your request and to maintain order in this House and for the proceedings of the people to go on. I move.
At the time when the Honorable Prime Minister is himself a cause for disorder, how are you going to move up motion for order?
Honorable member
Central
for Central Kingston.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
I'll sit while you
I have
address me.
asked a member and the honorable member, honorable Prime Minister, member for North Central Windward, is a member of this House.
Of course, Mr.
And I didn't qualify what member should move the motion. I said a member. Anyone who is a member should move the motion. If you want, you could move it too. You know. I have asked a member and a member has moved, and I don't need any further discussion on this.
But I'm raising the point of order that I address, Mr. Speaker, for the disrespect to me, Mr. Speaker. And all I'm asking is to dispense with that. That's not an unreasonable request.
What are the
That he imputed improper motive to me as an honorable member to disrespect this House, and I think that is of strong disrespect. And he should withdraw it, that he never so intended to disrespect me.
What is that?
He said that I came here for the purpose of removing the mace, which is the symbol of authority of the House.
But I thought
He did not, Mr. Speaker. He played around with words. And all I'm asking, Mr. Speaker, is that he withdraw that aspersion on me as an honorable member. Nothing more, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members.
Nothing more,
Honorable
Mr.
Senator,
Speaker.
honorable member for West Kingston, I think I understand the entire motion. And I'm
Mr.
saying
Speaker,
I am also naming you as referring to me as being biased.
I am saying, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Prime Minister
I
remains
said
standing
I
while the representative...
I said-
Mr. Speaker, may I make my point?
Yeah, but the leader,
While the Honorable
but
member
the
for
leader of
West
the
Kingston...
opposition is also standing.
I agree, and I would want to make my point. While the Honorable member for Central Kingston has the floor, the Honorable Prime Minister remains standing.
I am asking
Mr.
you...
Speaker, please allow me to finish my
No,
point.
I am not going to allow you. I'm asking
And
you
you
to
have
kindly...
not asked the Honorable Prime Minister to sit while you are requesting that the leader of the opposition sit down.
But Mr.
Because the Honorable Prime Minister is standing.
Honourable
And I'm
Senator.
saying, Mr. Speaker, that it must apply on both sides of the House.
Well, I am on my...
But,
Good.
I am on my honorable leader of the opposition. If you're not sitting, kindly leave the chair. And I am asking a member to move the motion. Your Prime Minister is moving the motion on the... for the member to move to leave the...
I was standing at your request, Mr.
But-
Speaker.
Exactly.
Mr. Speaker, I really want to be within the House
Mr.
confines.
Mr.
Here
Speaker,
is the-
I beg to
Here is the
move-
policeman standing guarding me. Why is he put there to guard me, Mr. Speaker? That's what the Prime Minister asked, you know. And he has since then taken this position in front of me in this honorable House. And I'm offended, Mr. Speaker. And he should be removed.
Sit, kindly sit.
But the policeman should be
I am going to ask...
removed from
I'm going
in
to
front
ask the
of me.
policeman to come on this side.
But that's fine, but not standing in front
Come
of me.
on this side. Could
Why
you-
the
could you
policeman
stand
get
on this
placed in
side?
front of me?
Right. Stand on that side.
Mr. Speaker, at your request.
And I hope no other member of the chamber make the allegation that he's
No,
guarded.
we're going to the redaction. He was placed there because it was suggested that he should
Thank you.
stand against
I'm
me.
dealing with the issue on the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as requested, in light of the failure of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, member for East Kingston, to obey the rule, your order to sit, and that you have requested a motion upon which you would act as regards his removal from this House, I beg to move that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, for the misconduct of not obeying the order of the Speaker to sit, and at your request that he removes himself voluntarily, that he has failed to do, I move the motion for the Honourable Speaker to take whatever appropriate action the Honourable Speaker feels ought to occur in the circumstances.
Honourable members, the motion having been moved and seconded, there is no debate on this motion. I am therefore asking, well, the motion has been moved, the Honourable Leader withdraws himself, or be withdrawn from this chamber, and therefore I am moving that he be suspended from this House